Some Nigerians with questionable character in the diaspora have indulged in malicious campaigns to radicalize their compatriots and promote destabilization back home. This revelation was made by the Coalition for Nigerian Movement (CNM) in a press conference on Wednesday in Abuja. In his address, CNM's leader, Patriot Sabo said Nigerians must be aware of these elements who deliberately instigate problems back home and escape with their families to safe abodes.
While this clan of Nigerians have decided to hold themselves in foreign lands, they deliberately instigate problems of frightening dimensions on insecurities, but escape to safer abodes of other nations with their family when the conflagration they ignite goes wild aflame. The troubleshooters abandon the rest of us to our fate after making us susceptible to the problems they generate by their actions and utterances. We are baffled at the manner these Nigerians in diaspora dubiously misinterpret and apply the doctrines of freedom of speech and the rise to public protest by the citizens in the expression of grievances against government in a manner which projects them as built to the detriment of peace and violence. This tendency has become too pronounced under the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in the last 4 years.
The coalition recalled the role played by these Nigerians abroad in fueling the last year's EndSARS protest, which eventually led to arson, unrest, and bloodbath. The group wondered why these Nigerians, who criticized the federal government for quelling further breakdown of law and order, suddenly went mute when the police were deployed at the U.S. Capitol Hill.
National interest supersedes every other consideration. Therefore, democratic protests which assume the character of bloodbath are ruthlessly crushed with the force it deserves. Nigerians have seen it done elsewhere in recent times. We know America as the global bastion of democracy, but outgoing President Donald J. Trump could not tolerate lawless protesters. He ordered American military out to protect America's national heritage from abuse by vandals, looters, arsonists, and brigands. And it was yesterday we witnessed the episode of the violent invasion of Capitol Hill building by pro-Trump protesters. In a split second, security agents murdered 5 Americans. The venom expressed by protesters at Capitol Hill was just an insignificant fraction of what Nigerians should do during the EndSARS protests in the country.
The Coalition for Nigerian Movement, however, advised Nigerians to wake up from their slumber before the antics and sinister plans of these elements in the diaspora will cause the total ruination of the country. It added that the mindless assault and undermining of the peace and security of the country in the guise of the exercise of democratic rights must cease.
We are aware of the age-long aberrations and the nuisances inherent in members of the outlawed sect, the Islamic movement in Nigeria, IMN, or the Shiites in Nigeria led by Sheikh Ibrahim el-Zakzakky. The sect's devious members have repeatedly invaded Abuja with guns and other dangerous weapons under the guise of protesting what they believe in their narrowed senses are the unlawful incarceration of el-Zakzakky. Let us again look at the violent dimension of EndSARS protests of last year. It was executed with the same tenor of the IMN's protests or other such remonstration in Nigeria under the Buhari presidency. All of us can attest to the scary bloodbath, rape of women, cruel butcher of security agents by the protesters, the destruction of public and private properties, looting, acts of arson and vandalization which were committed.
From Abuja, Lawrence Audu, TVN News.